When most people hear words like money, banks, investing, inflation, or interest rates, they think these things are complicated. But understanding how they actually work can help you make better financial decisions and avoid common money mistakes. Today, we'll explore not only what these financial concepts mean, but also who operates them and how they affect your daily life. 1. Money. Who creates it? Many people think governments simply print money whenever they need it. The truth is more complex. In most countries, the government authorizes the currency, but a central bank manages the money supply. Examples include Federal Reserve Bank of England, European Central Bank. These institutions influence interest rates, inflation, economic growth, currency stability. When central banks increase the money supply, more money enters the economy. If too much money chases too few goods, prices rise. This is called inflation. 2. Banking. How banks make money. Most people think banks simply store money. Actually, banks are businesses. When you deposit $1,000 in a bank, the bank doesn't keep all of it locked away. Instead, it lends much of that money to businesses, home buyers, students, governments. The bank then charges interest on those loans. For example, you earn 2% on your savings. The bank lends the money at 8%. The difference becomes part of the bank's profit. This system keeps money moving throughout the economy. 3. Inflation, the hidden tax. Inflation is one of the biggest forces affecting your finances. Imagine, in 2020, bread equals $1. In 2025, bread equals $2. Your money now buys less than before. Why does inflation happen? Common reasons include increased money supply. More money enters circulation, supply shortages, goods become scarce, higher production costs. Businesses pay more for fuel, labor, or materials. Governments and central banks constantly try to balance inflation because too much can damage an economy. 4. Investing. What really happens? Investing means owning a piece of something valuable. When you buy stock in a company, you're purchasing a small ownership stake. For example, if you buy shares of Apple Inc., you become a tiny owner of the company. Companies use investor money to expand operations, build products, hire workers, develop technology. If the company grows, investors may benefit from rising stock prices. This is how investing helps build wealth. 5. The stock market. Who runs it? Many beginners imagine the stock market as a mysterious place. In reality, it's simply a marketplace where investors buy and sell ownership in companies. Stock exchanges like New York Stock Exchange, NASDAQ connect buyers and sellers. Prices move because of company performance, investor expectations, economic news, interest rates, global events. The market reflects what millions of investors believe a company is worth. 6. Compound interest. How wealth is built. The wealthy often understand one thing: time is more important than money. Imagine investing $100. You earn 10%. Now you have $110. Next year, you earn 10% on $110 instead of $100. Your money begins earning money on previous earnings. This process continues year after year. This simple principle is one reason long-term investors often outperform people who constantly chase quick profits. 7. Assets versus liabilities. The wealthy focus on acquiring assets. Assets, things that generate income or increase in value. Examples: businesses, stocks, rental property, intellectual property, liabilities, things that cost money. Examples: consumer debt, expensive loans, high interest credit cards. A common mistake is buying liabilities while believing they're assets. Understanding the difference can change your financial future. 8. Government debt. Where does government money come from? Governments spend money on roads, schools, healthcare, security, infrastructure. They obtain funds through taxes, borrowing fees, and licenses. When governments spend more than they collect, they issue bonds and borrow from investors. Understanding government debt helps explain why taxes, interest rates, and inflation often change. 9. Financial freedom. Financial freedom is not necessarily becoming a millionaire. It means your investments, businesses, or assets generate enough income to cover your expenses. Instead of working for money, money begins working for you. That is the goal behind saving, investing, budgeting, and financial education. Conclusion. The financial system isn't magic. It's a network of governments, banks, businesses, investors, and consumers all interacting with one another every day. The more you understand how money works behind the scenes, the better decisions you will make with your own finances. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe to Wealth and Blueprint and join us as we learn, invest, and grow together.